Today we're gonna take a tour around the farm and check in on all the animals. We're gonna see how the chickens are doing, the layer hens, the lambs, the pigs and the ducks. If you remember from a couple of weeks ago, I got some ducks and a couple of them didn't do so well, but we're gonna cover all that today. Let's start here in the studio. I'm now in the first floor in the barn, what we Norwegians call second floor, because we call the ground floor the first floor, and I've never understand why. I'm starting a photography business, and the plan is to have a little studio in the barn. I've already started and done a couple of shoots this summer, and it's been a lot of fun. If you want to check it out, it's Hofsmo Photo on Instagram. And if you're local and need a photographer, the studio is still pretty rustic and raw, but the plan is to make something that I can do also in the winter time. So it needs some insulation and floors and walls and a roof and all of that. But now in the middle of the summer, this works just fine. For the last 10 years, my job, my real job, has been post-production for a photography company, and I work from home. And working and living by yourself is kind of lonely sometimes, especially with the pandemic and all of that. So now I thought it was time to get back out there and meet some people and do something creative again. So that's kind of where this comes from. But this video is not about photography, it's about animals. So let's go and start with the sheep. So this is the area where the sheep are sleeping in at night. They have straw to sleep on. They have some water in a bucket. They have a salt lick and free access to grains. It's been pretty warm lately, so the sheep like to cool off next to the barn in the barn wall. The other ones are out grazing, but Biggie here and Susie are setting this one out. I think we have 28 degrees Celsius today. A couple of weeks ago when I was on holiday, we had 33.5, and Biggie is still the smallest one. He has grown, and but I don't know. He's just smaller than the rest, and that's just the way it is. And it looks like he's kind of balding. Don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully it's nothing serious. But I'm keeping an extra eye on him. And here are some of the other guys. He didn't want to talk right now. Seems like they're thirsty and going in for a drink. I don't know if you remember my friend Henning. He's been in a couple of my videos. He actually has rented a house, and it's that one. So now one of my best friends will live right across the. So now one of my best. Okay, so now everyone's here. I thought I'd show you a lot of good footage of lambs grazing with the clover and flowers and grass, but now they're all here, but we'll do a short presentation. Over there is Johnny. His brother Arnie is inside. That's Jamie. He's the biggest one. Fluffy by the door. He's still kind of fluffy. It's Sheepy McSheepface. And this is Arnie, Johnny's brother. Hey there. That's Susie and her sister Poopy. These two are the ones that I'm going to keep. Everyone's doing great, and now they're eating up my tripod. Next year though, I will probably share them. Is that what it's called? Remove all the wool for the summer. I think it's hot today. Can't imagine what they think with all that wool. So I'll probably, come on guys. So I'll probably do that for next year. Okay. And then we have the layer hens. They are now free ranging. I let the door open during the day so they can go wherever they want. They usually don't go too far though. They like to keep it close to the barn. These are caged hens that I got a couple of months ago. That's why they look so horrible. But hopefully their feathers will grow back out. Henning and I made, Henning made a nice room for all the layer hens. With these boxes they could lay their eggs in. But so far, no one wants to lay their eggs in there. They just do it on the floor. I had them in there for 1 month before letting them out, so they could get used to being a real hen and knowing where they live and where to sleep and lay their eggs. So far, they lay on the floor. They haven't figured out the sticks, except for the 3 chickens. They figured it out. But for the Plymouth Rock, they just sleep on the floor and lay their eggs somewhere. As of right now, it's behind this bale of straw, and yesterday I got 7 or 8 eggs, all in that spot. So I guess as long as I know where the eggs are, it's no problem that they don't put them in the boxes, but hopefully they will learn it eventually. So these are the meat birds. They're still 40. We have none. We haven't had any casualties. It's about time we get them out on the pasture. So that's the next project, to make probably a Salatin model. As I understand, there are 2 models. So you have the Siskovich or the Salatin model. I think I'm going for something like the Salatin model. And it's about time now, because these guys are really ready to come out. I wanted to wait until they were fully feathered, and now they are. So that's the next project. They eat a lot. It seems like if they could choose, they would eat all the time. All the other ones where these come from, they are already harvested. I've had them for a month, I think, but I want them to grow a bit slower, so I'm not giving them that much food. But it's definitely time to get these bad boys out of here. So this is where the pigs eat and sleep and drink. They're not here right now because they're out somewhere, so we need to go find them. So these guys are also growing really fast. They've taken this corner as their favorite spot on the whole farm. They have access to the river. I haven't told them this yet, but the water level is really low now. So I haven't fenced around the water, so they have free access to the river. And everyone's saying that they will not swim, so hopefully they will not, but who knows? To cool off, they go into the river, and to protect themselves from the sun, they roll around in the mud. And these guys, you know, they have one button, and that's full power. They certainly enjoy having all the animals around. It keeps them very busy. So they're running around checking in on the layer hens and the pigs and the sheep. I promise you, all the animals. We should also check in on the cat, but as long as the dogs are out, there's no chance of getting a glimpse of her at all. So I'll try and find her after we check on the ducks. So the ducks are out and the pool works great. It was initially for the pigs I had last year, but then I figured why not use it for the ducks as well. The first time I let them out though, I didn't take in consideration that they would dive, so the netting only goes down to the water. They just swam under it and out, so I had to go and herd them back in and make netting all down to the bottom of the river, and now it really works. They spend most of their days down here in the water, and it's a short walk up to the house that also Henning made, where I feed them. But during daytime, they're mostly down here swimming, as a duck should, and it feels pretty great and a lot better than having water just in a bucket. They make a lot of mess, but now they can do it in the river instead. The ducks are still pretty reserved, not scared, but they don't want me to come too close. The one with the strange beak is still doing great, eating and drinking and playing with the others. Also, there were two with pretty swollen eyes that had something. Okay, and there's the pigs on the other side. Let's see. Just having a walk in the river. Why not? As long as they just don't cross it, I'm all good. A couple of them had something with their eyes that were really swollen. That's all gone now, so they look really healthy and in good shape. So this is the last animal here on the farm. Her name is Scott, and that's just a lazy name for Cot is cat in English, and Scott is just, you put an S before. It means treasure or honey, and I wasn't too creative with that name, but the kids call her Scott, and now that's her name. She lives here in the barn. She doesn't want to come into the house. She used to though, when I only had one dog, but when I got the second dog, they are teaming up and she doesn't want anything to do with them. So she just moved into the barn, and here she lives all year round, eating a lot of mice and some, is it possums, the ones that live under the ground? They're making a lot of holes out in my pasture, and I'm afraid they will destroy my vegetables, which I don't have, because all you have seen today is just animals and meat. I did plant some peas. We call it sukkererter, and that's the only thing I have. Suddenly it was mid-July and I hadn't planted anything, but suddenly someone said I could put some sukkererter in the ground, and I did, and they're coming. So at least I can say I'm growing something, but next year the plan is to grow a lot more unless the possums are destroying it. So welcome back to the channel. It's been a great summer. I've spent 1 week over at some relatives, and it was a festival there, and the headliners were Rednecks. So for all of you who know that band from the 90s, the soundtrack of this summer was kind of Cotton Eye Joe. But the highlight of this summer was definitely when they arranged a music festival 2 kilometers from here, and a well-known musician called Øystein Sunde played his first concert ever in his hometown. That was truly amazing, and I'm gonna live on that for a long, long time. Great to be back. See you next time. Toodaloo.